Right, let's talk about the most hated topic in the world. Actually, Jesus is Baal. That's the most hated topic in the world, or the most hated prophecy in the world. So let's talk about the second most hated prophecy in the world. Why is there such a dire warning against women in the latter days being covetous and vain and prideful and arrogant about their appearance? Why is there such dire warning, so much so that Peter and Paul have to actually instruct us on how to think about our outer appearance and what not to do? Because they're quoting the prophets. They know what Jeremiah 4 says. They know what Isaiah 3 and 13 says. They know the prophecies of Jezebel in the latter days. And they know the covetousness and competition that women have in their hearts towards other women. In the even in the Testament of Reuben, which I know you Christians will say, that's not scripture. It is scripture. Go and read it. Testament of Reuben chapter 2, and tell me that this isn't in your heart, women. It literally lays it out. It tells you, it exposes the hearts of women. And I know, because I know I was the same way. I would never not be. How would I put that? I would be the exact same way now, if not for the conviction of God. Because we are just like this as women. It's it's the sin nature of women to covet beauty. It doesn't help the society that Satan's created for us as well. But it's up to us to obey the conviction of God and escape that. And it can manifest in many different ways. Jeremiah 4:30 says, though you rent your face with painting, the judgment coming is going to involve lovers. A more appropriate word would be rapists. These people aren't going to be making love to you. It says your lovers will despise you. They will seek your life. Whoever's going to be doing this to the American women, because it's talking about Mystery Babylon in Jeremiah 4 at the end of it. And then Isaiah 3 and 13. But Mystery Babylon, America, is going to be destroyed first. And there's this dire warning over and over again in prophecy to women. And you know what's going to happen to your children, because you just won't stop wearing makeup. And you won't stop competing with other women. And you won't stop coveting youth and the appearance that other people have. Your children are going to be dashed to pieces so that you stop breaking that 10th commandment. Because you just can't get rid of it. People just cannot stop coveting. Even on here. Listen. There's very subtle filters that people can use on TikTok. And even when I went to make this video, it came up with the option to soften my face. So it might be happening unintentionally. I don't know if TikTok can do that without you actually clicking on it yourself. But why are people using filters like that? They're coveting a way that they look that they don't look. They want people to perceive them as more beautiful. The 10th commandment will be the hardest for people to crack. Even women in the Torah movement, they'll wear no makeup, they'll be shamefaced, they'll put their head covering on, but they're still riddled with covetousness because they still focus. It's about the focus. They're focused on how they're perceived by other people. They're focused on looking beautiful naturally. It's okay to stay healthy and look after yourself. Moisturize, wash your hair, use oil. I'm not saying any of that. I'm not saying don't look after yourself. But it's, where is your heart? Are you actually, basically, are you breaking the 10th commandment in any way? If you've got any scrap of covetousness, I still check myself. I'm like, if I've got any covetousness in my heart or pride or sometimes I'll even, because I'm pregnant and breastfeeding constantly at the minute, so I'm getting these hormonal spots. And I remember when I first started making videos, I remember doing my first, one of my earlier videos, consciously being like, no, I'm going to do a video today with this giant spot on my face to prove a point. And making that point to myself was an important moment, because the first video I ever did on YouTube was actually about the deception that women are under, and how we covet beauty and things like that, reading the prophecies, how serious the warning is. And then a couple weeks after starting to make videos, I myself was still not immune to that thought of, oh, that's a really gross spot. But that's the thing. It's okay to think that. But it's what then do you do because you've got that spot on your face? Do you cover it up with makeup to make it look like it's not there, to make yourself look better to other people? Do you put a filter on to smooth it out? Do you choose not to preach the message that God put on your heart because you've got a spot on your face, so you want to wait for it to clear up? And I was like, no, I'm not going to be that woman. A few years ago, I probably would never have done that because I was covetous and prideful of my appearance, and I did wear makeup and I would have covered it up. But shame on me to have preached a message and tried to reach the women about being covetous and prideful of your appearance and coveting it's like we as women covet the validation of other people. We want them to think, oh, she's so beautiful. Well, do you know what? And the solution isn't, oh, well, we're all beautiful in our own way. Like, I don't think that's a bad way to think. But I also don't think it's a bad thing to just be realistic. Yes, spots don't look the best, but on other people, you never focus on it nearly as much. And if anyone does, it's because they're also vain or they're conscious of their own spots, so they focus on yours as well, because they know how they would feel about themselves. But ultimately, women need to get out of the mentality of focusing on their outer appearance. And even more so, they need to get out of changing their behavior and breaking the 10 Commandments because of their outer appearance. So yeah, if I didn't preach that message because I've got a spot on my face right now, I've got a couple of them. Because that's just what I look like. And I don't want to be a hypocrite in any way. And I share that as testimony because I want to comfort you and I want to give you just a kick up the arse. Seriously, are you keeping the 10 Commandments? The 10th one as well. This is serious. Isaiah 3:13. Women, because they walk around with the more you covet beauty-related things or alter your appearance, you give yourself this false security of, you feel more arrogant about how you believe others perceive you. You think I look better in that person's eyes, so you act more confidently than you would have before. This is the arrogance that women have. Read Isaiah 3. Look at how these women are going to be walking around. They're arrogant, and Yah hates a haughty look. 1 Timothy 2, be shame-faced. No makeup. Stop the makeup. The only reason you would ever wear makeup is because you're covetous. That is ultimately what we're dealing with here. So are you in covenant or are you out of covenant? The only reason you would put a filter on your camera intentionally is because of covetousness. Are you in covenant or are you out of covenant? Come on, women, we need to think about this because you're not lying to you're not lying to me, you're not lying to anyone else. You're lying to God. Oh, I don't do it because I'm coveting. You're not lying to me, you're lying to God. You need to heed the warnings. I'll say it again. Jeremiah 4, verse 30. Isaiah 3 and Isaiah 13. Revelation 2, verses 20 to 23. Then if you look at the story of Jezebel, the last thing she did before she was thrown out of a window and eaten by dogs, she fixed her hair up and painted her face. Do you want to be like Jezebel? You need to get rid of that haughty spirit and the just desperate need to be beautiful in everyone's eyes.